So, settling on in here for our mindfulness practice. Begin by just bringing your awareness to your breath, not needing to change anything about your breath. Just feeling the rhythm, each inhale rising, and each exhale softening. Maybe taking this time to check in with your seat. Are you comfortable the way you've set up for practice? We want to find that balance between feeling supported and comfortable enough that we're not fidgeting or focused on the discomfort, but also not so comfortable that we're at risk of falling asleep. So, for most of us, this is a seated posture versus lying down. And I like to think about stacking head over heart, heart over hips, lengthening through the spine. And I'll use my breath to help with that. So inhaling, lengthening, and exhaling, letting go of tension. So with each inhale, I feel myself get a little taller. With each exhale, I notice my shoulders, my jaw, sometimes even my hips and knees. Sitting cross legged, and sometimes my knees are quite a bit higher than they need to be. Just notice with that rhythm of your breath, where can you offer softening? And as we check in with the sensations in our physical bodies, know that there is no good or bad that you're working towards. We're just checking in with what is, with curiosity and compassion. And of course, if there's an unpleasant sensation, you want to see if there's maybe a small movement or even just bringing the awareness and inviting ease to soften that sensation. Knowing that there is no wrong way to be present here. That simply by showing up, you can be here for yourself. Maybe notice how those words impact you. Mindfulness is really about noticing with compassion. We don't want to be overly focused or ruminating, of course. But just as you notice the sensations in your body, you can also notice your thoughts, your emotions, your surroundings, whatever there is to notice, to anchor yourself in this present moment. There are consistently new ways to distract ourselves, and these distractions are neither good nor bad. We also need to take time to be present in this moment and notice when our thoughts go, but what about? And go, we're here now, we're breathing. Just feeling that rhythm of your breath. Sometimes the space of silence can feel uncomfortable. Allow yourself to notice that discomfort, to remind yourself that you are safe enough, that we are breathing. But in this moment, you are in the space where you are meditating. I'm going to share a passage from a new book that I got. I love books. So this is Present Moment, Wonderful Moment by Thich Nhat Hanh. And it's a selection of gathas or mindfulness verses for different moments in life. So there are some for waking up, washing your hands, hearing the bell to begin meditation. And this is for following the breath. So now that we've done a bit of our following the breath practice, I'm going to recite the gatha. See, I like 3 times. We'll do it 3 times, and then there's a bit of additional thoughts afterward. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Dwelling in the present moment, I know this is a wonderful moment. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Dwelling in the present moment, I know this is a wonderful moment. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile, dwelling in the present moment. I know this is a wonderful moment. In our busy society, it is a great fortune to be able to breathe consciously from time to time. And how interesting that he refers to the busy society back in 1990. So I'm not going to do the math to think about how many years ago that is, but we have always thought that we are busy and we have always needed to create time for meditation. So, again, thanking yourself for being here. Our body and mind become calm and concentrated, bringing us joy, peace, and ease. We can breathe consciously while sitting in meditation or any time throughout the day. While breathing, we can recite this gatha. Breathing in, I calm my body. You feel the cool freshness permeating your body. When I breathe in and recite this line, I actually feel the breathing calming my body and mind. Breathing out, I smile. A smile can relax hundreds of muscles in your face and make you master of yourself. This is why the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are always smiling. As a side note, that's a really lovely meditation practice, especially if you're having a rough day, just bringing a smile to your face. Mm. Dwelling in the present moment. While I sit here, I don't think of anything else. I sit here and I know where I am. I know this is a wonderful moment. It is a joy to sit, stable and at ease, and return to ourselves, our breathing, our smile, our true nature. We can appreciate these moments. We can ask ourselves, if I do not have peace and joy right now, when will I have peace and joy? Tomorrow? After tomorrow? What is preventing me from being happy right now? Hmm. And I'd like to add the nuance that happiness, peace, calm doesn't mean that you don't have other feelings at the same time. We can feel these and also know that there is change needed. Allowing multiple things to be true simultaneously is another benefit of sitting in observance in our meditation practice. Hmm. This exercise is not just for beginners. Many of us who have practiced for 40 or 50 years continue to practice in the same way because it is so vital. Hmm. Everyone has pain and suffering. We have to be able to soften, to smile. We can only do this if we know that the present moment is the only moment in which we can be alive. Present moment, wonderful moment. How wonderful to be alive. Hmm. Sitting with that as we continue to follow our breath. Perhaps noticing if you're able to add that smile. A little over halfway through, notice if there have been any shifts. Perhaps your breath feels different than it did at the beginning of our practice. Perhaps your mind is calmer, perhaps not. Maybe your body feels like it's melting into your cushion, or your foot's getting a little tingly and needs to move. Whatever you are experiencing in your practice, allow it to be. When we meditate, sometimes the eyes drift closed. Sometimes we focus on a focal point out in front, something pleasant to look at. Often, whether our eyes are open or closed will depend on where we are meditating. If you're in a space you know you will not be disturbed, perhaps it feels easy to allow your eyes to close. Maybe there are things going on around you, and you need to keep your eyes open while still remaining in this practice, knowing that this is your meditation. We've spent most of today's meditation focused on our inner selves, our breath, the sensations. We briefly touched on thoughts and emotions. So I'd like to shift to focusing on some external features, on sound. Often, beginning meditators believe that we need absolute silence and perfect conditions to be able to meditate. It's very hard to get true silence. There's even sound involved with our breath. So, with that in mind, we begin by noticing the closest sounds. Perhaps that is your breath. Maybe you have some stomach gurgles. Allow yourself to be curious about sounds in and just outside of your body. Keeping in mind, we are not trying to change these sounds. We are not saying whether they should or should not be present. We are just noticing them. Moving now to sounds inside the room that you are in. Perhaps you have the whoosh of air conditioning or heat. Maybe there's someone else working, or a cat or dog making a wide range of sound. Again, see if without labeling as good or bad, you can bring your awareness here. Now expanding outside the room you're in, noticing sounds even further away. Maybe noticing what's the furthest away sound that you can tap into. Begin to bring your focus back to your breath, the sensation of your body in your chair or seat. And if your eyes are closed, beginning to blink them open, looking around the space. Hmm. Maybe finding a stretch if you've been fairly still. An option to bring your palms together at your heart space. Hmm. Feeling gratitude as we bring today's practice to a close. Hmm.